Okay. Welcome everyone to the August 19th, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. This is a web-based meeting, so we are operating under the following procedures. This meeting is being audio and video recorded. The video recording will be available within 24 hours and will be posted on the Town of Waterford's Planning Department website. To ensure good sound quality, the default rule for this meeting is that everyone will remain on mute unless they are speaking. If an attendee causes or creates an audio or video disruption, the Zoom moderator may place them on mute or remove them from the meeting if the disruption continues. We will not use a chat feature in this meeting. Public comment will only be accepted during the public hearing portion of the meeting. The chair will announce when the public hearing is open and ask for public comment. Public comment will not be accepted after the hearing is closed. We appreciate your attendance at this meeting. Should you have any questions about the process, you may call our staff at 860-444-5813 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. And with that, I turn this back over to the chair.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Again, we are going to appoint two alternates tonight. Doris for Greg and Mike for Tim Bleasdale. What will give us 4. And that will move us on to item number 2, approval of the July 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes. Would anyone like to make a comment before, or any comments? No. Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve the July 22nd, 2025 minutes.
Okay, motion made by Doris. Would anyone like to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Okay, so Doris made the motion, Mike has seconded. Would we like to vote on accepting the July 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes? All in favor, say aye.
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 So 4-0, those have been accepted. Moving on to item number 3, application receipt. Mark, would you be so kind?
Sure. For receipt application PL-25-16, request of Williams Memorial Institute owner for a site plan special permit review and approval for tennis and pickleball courts on property located at 122 Bloomingdale Road, R40 zone, in accordance with sections 5.1.4, 5.2.1, 22, and 23 of the zoning regulations, and as shown on plans entitled Athletic Complex Tennis and Pickleball Courts, 122 Bloomingdale Road, Waterford, Connecticut, June 2025. The application was officially received on 8/5/2025, and the public hearing must open by 10/9/2025. Item application PL 25-17 is also for receipt. This is the request of FC Real Estate LLC, owner, and River Valley Periodontics applicant for a modified site plan for parking lot modifications at 742 Broad Street Extension, NB zone, in accordance with sections 7.7 and 22 of the zoning regulations, and as shown on plans entitled Modification to Site Plan, Land of FC Real Estate LLC, 742 Broad Street Extension, Route 85, Waterford, Connecticut. Site development plans, parking lot expansion, revised June 20th, 2025. Action required by 10/23/2025.
Okay, so item number 4 is the public hearing. I've been advised to continue this to our next meeting on September 9th. If someone would be willing to make a motion, we can continue the public hearing. We'll keep that open and we will have that for real on September 9th. Anybody be willing to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to keep the public hearing open and move that to, what was the date, Karen?
September 9th, 2025.
September 9th, 2025, and that's in reference to PL 25-12.
Would anybody like to second that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, so motion made by Tim Condorino, seconded by Doris to continue the public hearing for PL 25-12 to our meeting on September 9th. Can we have a vote on that? If you are in favor, say aye.
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 And aye. So 4-0 to continue the public hearing for PL 25-12. Okay. Moving on to item number 5, application review. The first one is the PL 25-12. So since we made a motion to continue that public hearing, we will skip over this application review for the moment, and we will move that to September 9th as well. Mark, do you mind reading the next?
Sure. Application review, PL 25-14. Request of Heather Randazzo, owner and applicant for a site plan review and approval for a new single-family home on property located at 18 Cinderella Lane, R20 zone, in accordance with sections 3.14 and 22 of the zoning regulations, and as shown on plans entitled 18 Cinderella Lane, Waterford, Connecticut. Actions required by September 25th, 2025. I believe we have the agent and applicant here with us tonight for presentation.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Chevry. I work with CLA Engineers. So we're bringing to you an application for 18 Cinderella Lane. This is a single-family rear lot site plan for a residential home. We've been through, there are wetlands on the property, and we've already been through wetlands meetings and approvals, and we have the septic system approved. I'm trying to figure out how to share my
Sure.
screen here.
Yep. Let me get you set up. Let me co-host them.
Let's see.
Perfect.
Okay, is that coming through?
Yes.
Okay, so here's our configuration of 18 Cinderella Lane. It's on Cinderella Lane, which is a private street. There's no public utilities or public services on Cinderella Lane, so we're applying for a rear lot. This property it wraps around 16 Cinderella Lane, and then the best spot for a house site was to the left here, where you can see we're up against some wetlands. So we're kind of squeezed in next to the 100-foot upland review area. But that's, so here's the site plan. We have Cinderella Lane here with a proposed driveway, a garage, a breezeway, which I believe is an open air, like single story connection to the house, and then a proposed 3-bedroom house, and a septic system, and that has ledge light approval, and we have a drinking well proposed to the right side of the driveway as we're looking at this plan, and that's giving us, as you can see, it's a tight fit, but it's giving everything the required separations that we needed. With this application, we understand that there's a covenant restriction that we just have to say that we don't expect ever to have any services on Cinderella Lane, school bus, plowing, and I assume utilities. And if I understand correctly, that will have to be filed if we get approval. Does anybody have any questions?
Any members of the commission have any questions for the applicant?
I have a quick question. Does the residence require sprinklers in this case?
That's not something I know the answer to. I didn't think it did.
No, the only time that the zoning regulations would require sprinklers, if it was a flag lot. And in this case, it's not. So there are no sprinklers required.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? I just have one quick question. Is it because this is a rear lot and unflagged lot and that the garage is in front of the house is okay?
Yes, well, actually the garage could be in front of the house regardless of the lot.
Maybe it's the accessory thing I'm thinking of that you can't be.
Yes, well, in this instance, the garage is attached to the house with a breezeway. So it's no
It's
longer
a
an accessory.
structure, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, is that, it's Ryan, right? Ryan, did you have anything else you wanted to share with us?
No, that's all I had.
Does anyone have any comments rather than questions, or? Is this the part where we would discuss or just? No.
Well, we have to go over the.
Yeah,
report.
oh, sorry,
Sure.
of course, thank
That's
you,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I had provided a staff report to the members of the commission to review for this. There were findings and conditions associated with this approval, and those are incorporated into the proposed motion. Let's just briefly go into those, the conditions, most importantly. All conditions of approval for the inland wetland permit that was issued for this project, C-25-05, shall be incorporated into this decision as it fully set forth herein. 2 is recommendation by the town attorney relative to form and substance of the restricted deed covenant in accordance with sections 3.14.10 of the zoning regulations prior to endorsement of the final plans, and that the restricted deed covenant referenced in previous condition shall be filed on the land record at the time of filing the final plans. One thing I'd like to mention in this as well is that Cinderella Lane is a little bit unique in that even though it is not considered a town road, there's actually an ordinance in place that calls out Cinderella Lane to receive garbage service and to continue to receive garbage service. However, all other services are not allowed to be provided. There's maybe half a dozen private roads in town, which are called out specifically in a town ordinance, that they can receive trash collection. Cinderella Lane being one of them. I just want to make that note for the record. So if everyone's all set, if there are no other further questions, we can go ahead with the proposed motion.
Anyone like to make the motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve with modifications and conditions PL 25-14. The site plan for the single family rear lot development located at 18 Cinderella Lane with modifications and conditions 1 through 3, and to adopt the findings 1 through 6 of the staff report dated August 19th, 2025.
Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
Okay, so a motion by Tim Condorino, seconded by Mike. We want to vote? If all those in favor, say aye.
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 4-0, approved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
wow. It's an interesting piece of land. Do you want to move on to 2515?
Sure. Okay, next application for review, application PL 25-15. Request of Mihak Realty LLC, applicant and owner for modification of an existing site plan for property located at 118 Boston Post Road, CG Zone, in accordance with sections 8.1.2 and 22 of the zoning regulations, as shown on plans entitled Site Plan Modification, Proposed Convenience Store and Fueling Station, dated 7/18/25. Action required September 25th, 2025.
Do we have someone from the,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, I'm Kyle Hobbert, from CLA Engineers. Here tonight on behalf of, Mihak Realty, for this site plan modification. Mark, can I share my screen?
Yep. You should be all set.
Okay. Can everybody see that plan?
Not yet. There we go.
Okay. So the property before you tonight is 118 Boston Post Road. It's formerly the Hess Station on Boston Post Road. It's currently under construction for the new Best Way convenience store and fueling station. Construction has been paused since probably February or March of this year. The property is about 0.35 acres located in the general commercial, the CG district. And the convenience store and the fueling station was previously approved in January 2023. Construction of the project had started. There was some unexpected ledge encountered along Route 1, right in this area here. With that, there were concerns of undermining Route 1. I also believe there's a gas line in Route 1 that was a concern. So the fuel tanks were shifted and relocated about 12 feet south, closer to the proposed building. With that, there was kind of a chain reaction, with the tanks moving. The fuel dispensers and the canopies then also had to shift on the surface, which created issues with the parking and the traffic movements through the site. I do have the approved site plan here for you. And as you can see, here's the new building right here. And there were proposed to be angled parking spaces in front of the building right along this area here. With the relocation of the canopy and the fuel dispensers, there's room for a travel lane, but there's no longer room for the angled parking that was in front of the building. So we had worked with the owner. We had also consulted with staff to try and come up with a solution to find the required number of parking spaces on the site. 12 parking spaces are required. There was a variance granted that set the number at 12 parking spaces for the property. 6 parking spaces are proposed at the fuel dispensers. That's identical to what was approved in the previous application. We've also proposed a parallel spot at the frontage here at Route 1, and then additional parking to the left and to the right side of the new building here. And I just want to point out the intent of this plan is to only show what is being modified on the site. All of the other conditions, construction details, all other work on the site will be done per the approved plans that the project was being constructed under. So to accommodate these additional parking spaces, we'll relocate where the dumpster pad is to this side of the site. We'll move that to this currently paved area back here in the corner. The owner of the facility said he can coordinate with the trash hauler so that trash can be removed after business hours, so nobody will be parked in these spaces in front of it. We'll also regrade the stormwater basin that's located on the west side of the building here. We're able to get a little bit additional volume there, so we'll actually further reduce the stormwater flow leaving the site that will flow through the back of the building and off-site here to the east. The landscape location has been changed in this area around the stormwater basin. And only the locations of landscaping has been changed there. The same number of plantings and the same species of plantings are proposed in this area. So it was only a relocation and a shift around to accommodate the parking and the stormwater basin through that area. And again, with that, if there are any other questions or any other clarifications you guys like, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Does
Do any
anyone,
of those parking spaces, accommodate handicap?
Yes, we have the one van accessible ADA space right here to the west side of the building. And that has direct access to the sidewalk in front. And I should note the whole frontage of the building, this cross-hatched area, will now be designated as the loading area for the facility.
I have a quick question. I know, in the original submission of this, there was some concern where, fuel deliveries were gonna be extremely tight. And I realized they put a curb in, a drive-over type curb. And you indicated that the canopy was actually moved back closer to the building, I believe.
That's correct.
Why would we put a parking space there where the fuel delivery truck would go?
It actually, the fuel deliveries truck would actually still have room over the pad to come through and loop around this area. Because of that shift, it's almost a 12-foot shift, so there's actually more than enough width to maintain that, still have that travel lane and that kind of trailer area over the concrete pad, and still have a parallel spot in front.
So there's no conflict there with him getting in with a car parked there.
No.
Doris, any questions?
I guess I'm just wondering, with the loading area, when would that occur? Like during the day when there's cars coming in and out? I'm just wondering like how that would look, if it would be too chaotic.
He does have the ability to schedule deliveries, but I do believe there would be some deliveries during the day. But there would be room for the truck to park in front of the building here and still maintain the same travel lane that was available previously.
Okay. And just to add on to Doris, the loading zone there, it doesn't interfere with the handicap space at all?
It does not. There's bollard protection across the front of the building. And there's direct access from the handicap space to that sidewalk along that frontage.
Does anyone else have any other questions?
One other quick question containing to the parking or pertaining to the parking. So these will all be pull-in spots on either side of the building. When these people go to leave, they're going to be backing blind into the parking lot and towards the fuel islands.
They will be backing out, yes, into the travel lane and towards the fuel islands, yes. Which the previous angled parking spaces were doing the same maneuver.
We just shortened the distance so quite a bit with moving the island and removing those slanted. I guess my concern is visibility. They're going to back, the building blocks them, and they're going to back into kind of the travel portion of the driveway. There's no other
They will,
place.
but they will have visibility across these spaces here and these spaces here will have visibility, through the travel lane and through to the fuel islands.
Well, the parking spaces are kind of next to the loading zone, right?
Correct. Yes, they're on each side of the loading zone. Yep.
So they're not really next to the building then.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, so they're not technically against the building. They really are in the loading zone. It's really if the truck is there, if there's that's when you're going to lose your visibility the most. It seems like.
You might lose a little bit, yes, across the frontage of the building, but you'd still have visibility to the fuel islands and the travel lane, coming behind you.
Tim, did you have more?
I'm good, thank you.
Mike or Doris?
Good.
I'm good.
Sorry, what was that? Kyle? Kyle, did you have more that you wanted to add?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Can they discuss or no?
Well, at this point, we can.
We're just good, moving on to the, okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's have Mark read the,
Okay, if there's no other questions from the commission, just go briefly over my staff report. Was submitted to the commission with several findings. And along with that, we have two conditions of approval. One is that a copy of the completed stormwater maintenance and inspection report shall be provided to the Planning and Zoning Department on a continual basis. And all conditions and modifications that were associated with the previously approved site plan shall remain in full force and effect on this site plan as well. So we're not losing sight of the fact that there was a previous approved site plan, and anything that has not been modified as a result of this application still remains in force and effect throughout the remainder of the project. So with that, we'll go forward with a motion.
Okay.
Or any further discussion on my staff report.
does anyone have any discussion? Comments, concerns? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion then?
Make a motion.
You muted your, there you go.
Make a motion to approve with conditions, planning and zoning modified site plan application PL 25-15 for new convenience store and fueling station located at 118 Boston Post Road with conditions 1 and 2, and to adopt the findings 1 through 8 of the staff report dated 19 August 2025.
Okay, Mike has made a motion. Would anyone like to second?
I'll second it.
Second.
Doris is seconding. Any comments, or we wanted to have a vote? Okay, all in favor of PL 25-15, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and best of luck. Okay, so item 6, administrative review.
We have nothing,
Oh, okay, item 7, correspondence.
no correspondence.
Awesome. Item 8, commission business, review of past months and ongoing projects.
Yeah, I'd like to update and brief the commission on activities that are taking place, applications pending, things such as that. The Project Learn New Magnet School that the commission recently approved at the last meeting. We are still awaiting the third-party response to the peer review for the stormwater management plan. We should be getting that response by midweek this week. And with that, if everything is all set, then those plans will be ready to be signed or endorsed and then filed on the land records. What went along with that was the pickleball courts, kind of in tandem with the magnet school. They received their approval, if the commission recalls, at the last meeting, but we're still holding off on the creation of the parcel to be retained by the town, which is where the pickleball courts are going to be located. They're still working on the closing on that between Learn and the town of Waterford. Once that is in place, then they can go ahead and file those plans and start construction of the pickleball courts there. The regulation amendment for campgrounds, that went into effect Friday, August 15th. So that is now in effect. The regulation amendment, well, that's been continued. This is the other regulation amendment for agritourism that we're continuing to the next meeting. The Huntsbrook Farm agritourism event, their special permit. We're waiting on the Mylars from the applicant so that we can get those plans filed on the land records. 18 Cinderella Lane, you just acted on, same with Boston Post Road. You have in your packets, you recently received an application for site plan to a parking lot modification at 742 Broad Street Extension, River Valley Periodontics. That is scheduled for review at the next meeting, September 9th, for a site plan review. Also, you also had in your packets as well, 122 Bloomingdale Road, Williams School again. They're installing tennis and pickleball courts. That requires a special permit, and they are scheduled for September 9th as well. And that will be a public hearing on September 9th for that application. We have preliminary applications under review, one of which is 376 Boston Post Road. That's the steel building next to the VFW. And that there is the original owner of that property had sold his property and sold it to a contractor, which is classified in the zoning regulations as a business office. So there's going to be an application, a site plan application to modify what was there in terms of the site. Not many changes to the site, but the change in use is what puts it in front of the commission. And that's currently under staff review. And we had received that on the 8th of this month. We're reviewing it, and hopefully it'll be rolled into a formal application soon. The other one is 9 Josan Drive. It's a two-lot residential re-subdivision. Again, I'm waiting for submission to roll this into a formal. They're ready to go. So I just need to get the formal application in, and that will be a public hearing once it comes in, and we'll schedule that one appropriately at the right time. Let's see. We also have give you an update on ongoing projects. The Clark Lane Affordable Housing Development has been working in spits and starts, but at this point, we're awaiting confirmation from the project engineer as to the completion status of all the infrastructure that had to go in, the roadway, the drainage, the water line, sewer line, things like that. And also the building permit applications for 4 units are currently under review, and they're under review by the building department. So what is key here is that this was an affordable housing project. So every 3 buildings that come in for a permit, an additional one, well, let's say every 4 that come in, one of those has to be one of the affordable units. And so just so that we continue the affordable aspect of this project. And that's actually written into the affordable housing plan, the affordable housing plan that they had submitted. So they're required to make it, so they're coming in groups of 4. This is the first group of building permit applications, one of which is one of the affordable units, all of the same as all the other units that are there. Let's see, other potential projects. We may have a residential 3-lot re-subdivision coming in on Spithead Road. Waiting to actually get an application and a plan to look at for that one. And at some point, I'd like to be able to resurrect with the commission an urban agriculture overlay district. I don't know if any of you recall, but a while back, actually when Abby Pearsall was a planning director, we had been working on establishing an urban agriculture overlay district in the Clark Lane area. And so that kind of was put on hold. COVID came in. We didn't really do much with it at that time, but now I'm starting to get some inquiries from small scale farmers that are looking to establish a small scale farm that they can provide produce to local markets, things like that. So at some point, once we meet again with a couple of the resident farmers around, the small scale ones that I'm talking here, we'll be looking on writing proposed language to get this regulation into the books. Another one is the Waterford Dental Health. This is the orthodontist up here on Boston Post Road, across from town, almost across from Town Hall. They will be making some changes to their facilities there. And that will be coming in with a site plan at some time. So I just want to let you know that we're in talks with them on that project. So that's pretty much what I have. If anybody has any questions on anything else.
One question.
Yeah.
Pickleball, are they still doing the walking path? Remember they were gonna do around the outside for the 4 acres, like they kept the little.
Yep.
Are they still gonna do that?
Yes,
As it's the town doing that, right?
that's still there. That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
I
Yep.
feel like we've talked about pickleball.
Goes around the
We didn't
tower
talk
and-
about the.
Yeah, the pickleball's in the front and you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
just walk
it
all the way
kinda goes
around. Yes.
Just wanna make sure we lose it.
Yep.
Okay, so that covers past months, ongoing and upcoming.
Yes, sure does.
Does anybody else have anything? No? Okay. That takes us to item 9. Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, so Doris made a motion and I think Mike seconded. Do we need to vote on that? I think so. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you for all of your understanding this evening, everybody, with the unexpected visitors time around.
Okay,
Have a nice night.
thanks.
Have a good night.
Good night, all.
Sex,